Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Kaylee, this is Tyler. Today we're going to be talking about our most popular indoor plants. So I'm going to start with a Zanzibar gem, also known as ZZ plant. I call this one the traveler's plant because it's really low maintenance, it's really low watering, which means you only have to water every 6 to 8 weeks in this size. The bigger they go, the more gaps between watering they get. So if you like to travel for months at a time, which is a nice thought right now, then this is going to be your best friend. So the Zanzibar gem, the newest leaves, they're a lime green, they're really beautiful and glossy, and as they get older they harden to a dark green. They're low light tolerant, so you can have them in the south facing room, you can have them in the north facing room and they'll thrive. So they're just all over really easy.
I actually have a ZZ plant at home. It's probably about hip height on me at the moment, and it is one of my favorite plants that I have in my collection, so definitely something you should come and check out. There's a reason it's so popular.
Yeah.
My personal favorite is our beautiful Monstera. So this is quite a large guy. As you can see, you have your little extra holes, or fenestrations as they're called, down the middle here. So this is what a Monstera looks like while it's still quite young. They will start off and they'll have these lovely full leaves, and then as they grow they'll start to develop the splits. They develop the splits as a mean to make sure that the leaves down below still continue to get light as they start to climb, as they are a climbing plant out in nature. So indoors these guys will most likely reach about a max of about 2 meters. Outdoors they can get quite large though in a shaded area, so fantastic. In terms of watering, I tend to do mine about once every 10 to 14 days, sometimes a little bit longer of a gap in the winter time. But yeah, very easy for somebody who doesn't want to be constantly looking after or caring for their plants. And they do have this just lovely, beautiful large leaf as well.
So you said that they climb in the wild, so what do you do at home? I mean, you don't have a tree in the house.
Exactly. So at home, as a way to keep these guys to stand upright and stop them from sort of flopping around, you can grab something like a coir totem or any sort of support at the back to sort of make sure that it continues in a straight direction. Another thing about your Monstera is they are quite tolerant of indirect light in the house. So north facing would be the best for these guys, but they will also thrive in east or west. South would be a little bit too dim, but anywhere that has a nice bright window would be absolutely perfect.
Awesome, I love them too. I've got 2 at home because I've actually taken a cutting off one of mine. So down here, we'll just pull it up for you so you can actually have a look. Sorry Tyler, it's a big boy. So if you actually cut it here, for example, with a node attached, pop that in water, got another plant, easy. Okay, so the next one I want to talk about is the Fiddle Leaf Fig. So it's probably Instagram's #1, top plant. Everyone should know a Fiddle Leaf Fig by now. And if you need a plant to fill a space, they get really big. And their leaves also get really big too. So they definitely make an impact. The real trick to these guys, because people have probably heard, they're Fiddle Leaf Figs because they're fiddly, so they're hard to look after. But the real trick to these is they do like to dry out between waterings. So that's when you would try getting a moisture meter. They're the best things you'll ever buy. And if your moisture meter is on a 1, 2 or 3, which is dry zone, then that's when you'll want to water your plant. For me, it's every 3 weeks, but that's because mine is in a concrete pot. Yours might be every 2 weeks, but really best to test the soil and see how dry it is before you re-water.
With my large one that I have at home, which would probably be just a little bit shorter than this big guy here, I actually tend to wait until the leaves start to feel a little bit softer. With your Fiddle Leaf Fig, you find that they have very structured, large and rigid leaves. So you really do notice the difference of when they start to feel a little bit softer, a little bit more malleable, and that's when I like to drag mine painstakingly to the shower and give it a really good rinse. What that will do as well is that'll get all of your dust off and keep these really massive leaves looking beautiful.
Beautiful, love it.
And then, yes, our last one here is this really massive guy right next to me, which is called a Strelitzia Nicolai, or a bird of paradise. Kaylee's got a small one right next to her. These guys are good for indoors and for outdoors, but if you do have them inside, you want to pop them in a very bright area. We tend to recommend north or west facing only for these ones.
Yeah, near a window will be best. Now they do start to sort of split their leaves a little bit. Don't panic, that's normal and natural. In the house they don't split as much, but out in the wild or outside they do naturally split, and that's because they're such a large leaf that if they don't split their leaves, you know, when a gust of wind comes through, they could just snap their stem. So they're actually really intelligent plants. So they'll split just to protect themselves. And with every new leaf, you actually get impact in height because it's such a big leaf. When it comes up, it's bigger than the last. So they're very slow growing, but every new leaf is quite large. So you don't really notice how slow they are when they grow. So yeah, that's our most popular plants in store. And if you want to build on your oasis or you're just starting out, you're not sure what to pick, come in store, ask us, and we'll help you out. Thanks so much. See you later.